And you know, they mixed a lot of the good with a lot of the bad, and at times they were very dominant in the first half. But what we just have to say is that they really outfought Cork, and they came determined to, you know, we have a look there at Declan Prendergast, you know, good chance of on his own, and 2 Waterford players free, and he belts it long. You know, it's a hobby horse of mine straight down to the opposing centre back, and again sideline ball here, right, and you see Waterford player at the top, right, it should have gone straight up the line to him, and they'd have it. And that was a time when Waterford were attacking. But there's a couple of clips coming up here now of how they out-muscled Cork on the ground. Any tussle that was there to go, they nearly won them all days, and that really showed the determination. There was 4 or 5 Waterford players at each time, right, hassled Cork, harried Cork, and then just, you know, won the ball. Good flick on here now to Kevin Moran, who stopped running corner initially. And next clip coming up here, you'd favour Pat Horgan to win that ball, but Noel Connor's great determination, down on the ground, up first, right, and then wins it and comes out. Great pass to Tony Brown, and, you know, long clearance. And that was Waterford all day, fighting, and like John Milan here again, out from full forward, wins the ball. Trademark John Milan score over his shoulder, right, and, you know, that's what they did all day long. And they said it there in an interview, they refused to be beaten, and ball coming across here, and look at the determination of Owen Kelly when he gets it, throws chin, and he loses a strong defender out of his way, and bang, back at the net. And, you know, they did that all day long. This was the final piece of action, and Tony Brown coming in, nobody on him really, and he lashed it to the net. And if he had missed it, Owen Kelly was there as well. So really they were not ever going to give up, and they said it, and I think that was their fighting qualities got them, you know, on parity today.
Well, based on that, are you suggesting that maybe Cork have more in the tank then for the replay?
Well,
more room for improvement? Well,
I think you'd have to agree with Pete. I mean, the thing is, the performance that they had today was well down on the performance against Tip. There was no intensity in the first half. They had short passing. Short passing is excellent if it's going someplace, but they were going around in circles. They were falling into the trap of playing Waterford. So, you know, I think when they look at the game and the video, they'll pinpoint a lot of weaknesses they had, as will Waterford, right? But I mean, the thing is like that, you'd have to favour that Cork would improve a little bit more than Waterford, maybe.
All right, a couple of key talking points, Pete. A first half free, for instance, for Cork.
Yeah, when I saw this initially, I said it went wide, and then I viewed it on the replay and I thought it went over the bar, and tonight I had a second glance at it, but it definitely goes wide. You see here the ball and just stops here at the post, and you can see clearly that it's in front of the post, so the ball went wide. And the annoying thing about it was the umpire, well, this is actually the decision at the end of the game where the free is given, and Johnny Ryan, there's a lot of controversy whether it was a free or whether it wasn't, but the thing I see about this is Owen Kelly immediately from Waterford, and I know he'll be looking for a free, but he indicates that it was a free as well. And Johnny made his decision. He walked over. he walked over to Brian Murphy, and he explains it. He explains it to Brian what the free was for.
Was Owen an umpire today?
He'd have been better than the lad that was there.
Well, just on that, first of all, the umpire on the side where the ball was given didn't indicate to his colleague.
No, he more or less turned around and he didn't indicate whether it was up or down or whatever else. And that is a fault that we have with umpires, right? You know what I mean? The umpire on the flag put it up, he looked over and he just put it up and he didn't know whether it was a point or not. But this is the problem. The umpire should be back a little bit further maybe and indicate whether it is over or not. And in the last free, I thought it was inconclusive, to be honest with you. I thought Brian Murphy, you're entitled to bat the ball if you bat. And if there's a person hurling away, well, that's too bad. But Johnny Ryan seemed to indicate, and he said it, you see lip read there, Brian Murphy indicates something with his hand as if so. He was definite that there's a free, so you can't argue with that. And maybe a draw was a fair result in the end, it is.
All right. Would you go along with that?
Yeah, I would go along with that. The umpire that signalled that was a point, he looked over at the other umpire. At this stage, that umpire who was closest to it and should be looking up at it and should have seen that it went wide, he was going getting the ball. He wasn't going to make any decision at all on it, and the other umpire waved it. In fairness, Johnny Ryan, I thought he had a good game today, and he did consult with his umpires on various occasions, and he took action once. So I thought he had a good game overall. And the free at the end, Cork Mellon always said that wasn't a free.
And who'll win the replay?
I think Waterford more to improve than Cork, and I think that the game will bring Waterford on a lot more than it will bring Cork. I'd worry for Cork in the sense Sean O going to be out and is Jerry O'Connor going to be out.
All right. The nominees for man of the match, Donal?
Well, there was a number. I suppose really you know, Tom Kenny had an excellent game for Cork in the middle of the field, as and Ronan Curran hit an awful lot of ball as centre back, and Milan for Waterford again was exceptional. Even though I was surprised that Davy Fitz moved him off the full forward marker, moved him out to the corner halfway through the second half.
But they were the three nominees then. And Pete, who gets the award?
Ronan Curran gets the award, one of the old guard for Cork. He was tremendous throughout the game. At the time in Cork, when they needed him, especially in the first half, he dominated that line throughout. His physical strength in the air is unbelievable. The balls he comes down with, and he always breaks forward when he gets the ball. Yeah. And his delivery, he rarely misdirects a pass, and he's so physical across that line that a lot of Waterford's attacks perished on him today. He's 29 years of age, and he's been doing it time and time again for Cork.
And you've known him a long time, Donal.
I've known him. I coached him at underage level, and he's much fitter this year. There's obviously, because last year there was a bit of a problem for Cork, but they're much fitter. They're training much harder, and obviously they weren't going to reach the peaks as they reached against Tipperary. But I think that they'll have to refocus now for this one.
Is that a result of the injuries they're getting? Maybe the bodies are too old at this stage to be pushing them that hard.
I wouldn't think so. I think it's a long time since they played Tip, and then they had the non-game against Limerick. So you're about to come back. You're not going to get a perfect performance, and they weren't in as hot favourites. So obviously, Waterford are going with something to prove. Then there's a bit of pride, like they're being, written down in the papers, whatever. So they have something to prove. Now Cork maybe have something more to prove next Saturday. Now that they'll have to get back up to where they were.
Oh, yeah. Let's hear then from the man of the match, Ronan Curran.
Congratulations, Ronan, you are the man of the match, and Rory Sheridan, the sponsorship manager of Diageo, is here to present you with your award.
Congratulations, Ronan, fantastic man of the match. Thanks so much. Cheers.
So Ronan, it's 2 wins and a draw so far in the Munster Championship.
Yeah, I suppose not a bad start. We would have taken it at the start of the year to be here in the Munster Final. I suppose disappointing the way it ended there, but Waterford are a great team and they can do that if you take your eye off the ball for any bit of time.
Well done, Ronan. Now, RTE Sport have teamed up with Guinness, official sponsor of the GA Hurling Championship, to give you a chance to win a fantastic VIP trip to see all the action at this year's Hurling quarter-finals on Sunday, July 25th. The prize includes match tickets for 2, overnight accommodation in a top hotel, and transport to and from your home to the hotel before the game, and €2,000 in spending money. For your chance to win, just answer the following question. Who won last year's Munster Senior Hurling title? Was it Cork, Tipperary or Waterford? Call the competition line on 1515 71 71 82 or text the word Hurling followed by your answer, name and contact details to 57111. To enter from Northern Ireland, there's the number 0901 293 0506. RTE Airtel page 193 has all the details, terms and conditions. Lines open until midday tomorrow. We'll announce the winner on our radio programme at 6:30 tomorrow evening on RTE Radio 1 with Pat Spillane, so don't forget to tune in then. And as always, you must be 18 years or over to enter. All right then, let's have a look at the rest of the weekend hurling action. Yesterday we had 2 qualifiers, Dublin versus Clare and Offaly versus Limerick. But we begin our review with a report from the Gala Camogie Championship and the clash of Tipperary and Wexford. Reporting is Jim Carney.
All-Ireland champions 3 years ago, Wexford are building steadily and impressively towards another major tilt at the title. For Tipperary, a starker reality. Only a win in this game would keep them in the championship race, and their manager Owen Brislan was hoping they could make up for a lack of experience while he's team building.
Listen, this team has gone through a big change in the last 12 months, missing 10 of last year's panel, in numerous injuries. But as I say, this group of girls have showed great character this year.
It was played in dreadful conditions, cold, wet and windy, so all credit to the 2 teams. But it was Wexford who struck the first blow, a goal by right full forward Lenny Houlihan. Tipperary responded well with rallying points from play by Coach Devan and their long-serving scoring ace Claire Grogan, and Claire was also sharp on the frees. Wexford kept the scores flowing too. Katrina Parrock on the right wing of the attack was in great form, and so too was experienced full forward Ursula Jacob, on a day when Wexford had an outstanding half-back line driving them on, Nolene Lambert, Mary Lacey and Aoife O'Connor. And at half-time it was level pegging at Wexford 1-7, Tipperary 10 points. The weather got even worse in the second half, and it undoubtedly was a factor in this Wexford goal. A ball in from Ursula Jacob that, heartbreakingly for Tip's otherwise excellent goalkeeper Rosie Kennelly, slipped out of her grasp. There would be no way back for Tip, and Wexford went on to hit a string of superb scores. Ursula Jacob finished this game with the personal tally of 1 goal and 12 points. Tip were out of it for a long time, but in front of their own fans they put in a spirited final quarter rally. and Cora Hennessy, Coach Devan and Claire Grogan found the range to show there's pride in wearing the blue and gold. It finished